Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Hudson Public Utilities Commission meeting for Tuesday, September the 13th, 2002. We'll begin by doing the roll call. Does Jace do that yet again?
Okay, hang on. Hall.
Here.
Hassan. Coram.
Here.
Moose. Here. Nolan.
Here.
Preisel.
Here.
Rice.
Here.
Okay. That's it.
First order of business would be the approval of the meeting minutes from our last meeting on August the 9th. If I could get a motion for that, please.
This is Carrie. I move to approve.
This is Joyce. I'll second.
All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. The new business would be for the approving the Magni pay for the wastewater treatment plant updates on pay app number 27.
Okay, so in your packets, you do have pay app number 27 in the amount of $10,341.70. Has been gone through by SEH like in the past, and they do recommend payment on that.
I'll make a motion to approve. This is Dave.
This is Joyce. I'll second.
All in favor, signify by saying aye.
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 No opposed. Motion carries. Then the next item is the new unit heater on the wastewater treatment plant lab building. Kip has got information on that.
All right, so the heater, it's a heater / AC unit. It's a rooftop unit that's in the lab building at the wastewater treatment plant. It stopped working last January, February. Needs to be replaced. The current unit's a 3-ton rooftop unit that was undersized from the start. We're proposing replacing that with a 4-ton rooftop unit. We did receive 3 proposals. We do have enough in capital equipment to fund this. Benedict sales and service was $12,793.28, and that did not include the electric. Major mechanical was $12,796, and the electric is included in that one. And modern heating and air was $14,000. So I am recommending major mechanical at $12,796.
Move to approve the bid from Major Mechanical for $12,796.
Second.
All in favor, signify by aye.
Aye.
Aye. No opposed. Motion carries.
Thank you.
Then we've got item 3.3, discussion and possible action on the 2023 wastewater and water budget.
Okay, so I guess I'll just kind of go through everything here briefly. It's up to you if you guys want to vote on this tonight and move it forward to city council, or if you would prefer to look it over and chew on it for a little while, and then we can either have a special meeting at the end of the month, or if I can push it to the October meeting. I'm not sure when city council needs this by. I'm thinking it's November, so we might be okay going with October. Passage of our budget, so we can pass it on. I'll start with water. I think that's the first one that comes up in your packet. It is 26 pages long. So if you actually go to the last page on that, instead of going through line by line and trying for you guys to figure out what's what and where and all that kind of fun stuff, the major things that we are doing this year, let's just see here. I'll just kind of list off some of the major things that we're that we're looking at. We are looking at replacing some well meters just for accuracy, and we're going to just a better meter than what's in there. We are looking at some telemetry upgrades again, some valve repair and replacement. We kind of bumped that up this year. It's just the guys have been out working hard on them valves and turning and stuff like that, and they are running into a bunch that do need repair. So that's in there. We do have our annual inspections for towers, things like that. Hydrant painting. We do want to do a leak detection survey this year. The big thing that we do have in is the Lake Malibu water crossing, which we had talked about last month. We approved Cedar Corp to start looking into that and start the design on that. I am looking at about $400,000 for that. I know it came in. They were thinking, Cedar Corp was thinking, I believe it was right around 360 or so. But just for budgeting purposes, I did go with 400 in there. So that's our biggest ticket item this year. We are looking at some new plan set printers for the building. There's some IT requests in there for maintenance plans, things like that. If you actually go through and look at that, you'll see my notes on kind of what I'm looking at. We are also looking at replacing a truck next year. That was budgeted in about $70,000. So if you go to the last page, in blue at the bottom of that last page, I kind of just broke it out for everybody just so to make it a little bit easier instead of trying to do all the calculations in your head and what we're looking at here. So on the water side, our projected revenue for next year is $4,426,500. We are looking at expenses of $4,605,693. So it's a total projected, it comes out to a negative $179,193. Now, out of that, if we do our new mains, I'm proposing that $400,000 from the reserve funds for the Lake Malibu water main crossing. If the reserve funds are used, that leaves us a balance of plus $220,807 on the water side. So like I said, I tried to make it a little easy for everybody, just so you guys don't have to sit and do math to see. So we have money in reserve accounts. When we do put budgets together, we don't spend really what we put in. We try to, but things happen. Sometimes we don't get the projects, different stuff like that. So that is what I'm proposing, using that. So basically we'd be looking at about $180,000 we'd be looking out of reserves to cover that difference in there. So that's water. If there is any questions on that, we can go through it. But like I said, it's kind of up to you guys on how you guys want to do this. If you want to, pass it tonight, I'm fine with that. It's ready to go. Aaron's already looked at it. It's been through the administrator. He has looked at it. He sent it back to me with no changes. So if there's any questions on water, we can do that. Otherwise, I will move on to sewer. Carrie?
Yeah, I want to make sure I'm clicking on the appropriate link to the agenda. The one that I'm looking at doesn't match the numbers that you quoted, and just to make it brief, on the last page, instead of numbers being in blue, they show up in green. So I'm wondering.
Okay, so you're on sewer. So either scroll up or scroll down.
All right.
I apologize. I'm not in my office today, so I don't have my double screen where I can see you guys and see. I'm going old fashioned here today. I'm going off the paper. So
Carrie, it's page 44 of the packet, and then it's page 26 of the budget. So if you
Yes.
look in the upper right corner of each page, you'll see page 26. If you see in the lower left corner of each page, you'll see page 44.
Got it.
Kip, how does North Hudson affect all this?
They're in there. You know, our time is in there that we're spending up there. We are tracking everything. What, you know, for 2022, we are tracking every time that we're up there in terms of salaries, you know, when the guys are up there, what expenses we have. If you remember part of the water service agreement, we always had that payment to North Hudson. I believe it was $140,000 somewhere in there. With the new service agreement, that payment is down, dropped to 50,000. So that 50,000 does show back up in here. I can't tell you exactly where it is. I can find it if you really had to know, but that 40,000 or the 50,000 does show back in here. So that's what we send them every year.
Mhm. Okay.
On that. Yeah, I could, I mean, if you really, it's there. I know it's there. So is there any questions on water?
I have a question, Kip.
Yeah, go ahead, Pat.
So it says it shows the current, what is the actual current date? Is that September 7th or?
September 7th, correct. Yeah, that's when it was printed and put into the packets.
But that is the actual date then that your budget numbers are?
Yes.
Your current budget?
Correct.
Okay. And are you going to do any tower rehab next year?
We're not doing any tower rehab this year, no.
Oh, okay. I thought you were going to do the.
No, like, you know, the next one, I'll touch on that real quickly here. The next one that we're really looking at is in North Hudson on what is it, Summit? That's up there. That is the one that we're talking about, the monopole that we had discussed that monopole with. So
Yep.
We're kind of working through that right now to see if that's going to work, if that's even going to be feasible. So, but no, 2023, we are not planning any tower work. No.
Okay. All right. I'm just curious.
Any other questions on water? So what is your guys' wish? Do you want to pass water tonight and move it forward, or do you want to chew on it for a little bit and bring it back?
I'd like time to review it.
I'm sorry, David, say that again.
I'd like a little bit more time to review it, and then I get back to you with
Okay.
questions.
Sure. Yeah. And again, you know, if you guys have questions on this, you know, give me a call, you shoot me an email. Email is probably the best. And we have a record of, you know, if there is anything, because I can send questions or answers out to all of you. Just remember, you can't email everybody. So you can only email me. But I can send everything out as long as we don't get responses back. So, okay. So if there's nothing else on water, I guess we'll just kind of run through sewer real quick then. So is that all right? Okay. So I did the same thing with sewer. We are looking some of our major expenses. We are looking at a new jetter. I know I had it in this year's budget also for a new jetter, and we plan on using reserve funds for it. We haven't brought it forward. We just had a demo a week ago with one of them that we can actually use the Minnesota procurement bidding on that. So we are kind of looking at that. The other big item is a portable generator that we're looking at. The one that the wastewater department has is it's older than probably any of us that are on here, age-wise. We are looking at a SCADA upgrade phase 2 for 76,000. There's just some other lab equipment that shows up in here. Some aeration tank mixer, some sludge loadout stuff. A little snow blower for down at the wastewater treatment plant. We're looking at replacing a truck there. And I guess I'll briefly talk about the vehicles. We did actually budget in 2022 for a vehicle for water and a vehicle for wastewater. The problem is we can't get it. So chances are money's just going to roll from 22 to 23. It just goes back into our accounts, or it just sits in our accounts, type thing. But the problem is we can't find any vehicles that are out there. So again, if you go to the last page on the wastewater, the projected revenue is $3,255,210. Our expenses are $3,988,833 for a total projected of a negative 3623. The sewer collection system, we're proposing that 600,000 from reserve for a new jet truck. The lift station, we're proposing 76,000 from reserve for the SCADA upgrade phase B. We did do phase A is actually being worked on as we speak. And then the sewer collection system, we're proposing 70,000 from reserve funds for a new portable generator. The three items above were presented as reserve fund items in our 2022 budget. Like I had said, but we did not get to them in 22, so it's a rolling into 23 with slight increases in cost due to inflation. If reserve funds are used for the above projects, this will leave a balance of a positive $12,377. So that's budgets. Questions on sewer?
Is there a minimum reserve that needs to be in place?
I believe it's 6% is what we have to do on our annual revenues, and we're above that.
Okay.
So if no other questions, then I guess what we'll do, I will just push this forward to, if I can make it, like I said, to October. We'll just have the budgets on the October meeting. If we do have to do a special meeting for some reason because council wants it early, then I guess we'll have to set something up here towards the end of the month. But
Council doesn't usually do their
I believe
budget meeting until the middle of November.
Yeah, I always thought it was November. So
Yeah, it's the second
just so
meeting in November.
okay, so just so everybody's aware, it will be on October unless something freaky happens and we do have to move it forward. So, okay.
Now on the jet truck, that's a Vector, I believe, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a vac jet.
That's the,
Yep.
yeah.
It'd be just like the one we have. We do get trade-in value on that. There is trade-in value, or we could either sell it outright. I don't know we haven't got to that point on what we're looking at for trade-in value on that. It's getting old. It's getting beat up. It's undersized. It's a single axle. Doesn't hold much water. The guys spend a lot of time actually, filling that thing up and stuff like that. So it's due to be replaced.
Well, of course, a really large truck might be kind of tight in some of the neighborhoods we have, maneuvering it too, turning it and such.
No, they're the one that was in the other day. We're looking at a dual axle is what we're looking at. We can get bigger, more capacity with water. We can get more capacity with what the guys are vacuuming up type stuff. So, and it's just it's time. This one's, I believe it's 18 or 20 years old. And it's still, like I said, for us, it works. To another community, it would be we'll get money out of it. That's for sure. When we go,
but the Vector company does have a renovation program where they renovate and upgrade the trucks.
I mean, if I trade it in,
they'll actually
go through it. Yeah, they'll go through it and, then they'll sell it, type thing.
Well, I meant we could get this existing one renovated.
Oh, it's
Maybe.
been renovated numerous times. And actually, one of my staff called me yesterday. He said it went by him and it sounded like it was running on 5 cylinders instead of 6. So they're looking at that right now. So we might be buying one sooner than we think. I don't know.
So you said it's hard to get.
We'll see what happens.
It's hard to get them. Is there a list or, waiting list or anything like that? Are you on the waiting list?
Well, we're not even on the waiting list yet, but it would be a year plus before we even would see one. So that's kind of what, once this budget's passed, I'm probably going to start, really looking at getting on the ordering one and getting on the list right away. Because it's going to be 12 to 16 months for sure before we even see one. The problem is they're having problems getting chassis right now.
Yeah, just one last question about the budget here. You and I attended a meeting last May that had to do with the West Central Wisconsin Biosolids facility. And I think it's work. Has anything come together on upgrading that facility that would affect our budget?
Yeah, it's still in the works. If you remember, it was phased in and out. So that the first phase has already been passed. In that the biosolids is taken care of. We don't need any loans or anything like that at this point. Once phase 2 or B or whatever they're calling that, once that gets to the point of at our rates again, there is the chance that we might have to, increase rates a little bit to pay for our portion of the West Central Biosolids upgrade that they're doing down there. But there's nothing in the budget other than our normal, monthly that we pay them now for services. Okay, any other questions? Otherwise, Patrick,
We're going to table this
We can move on
voting
to,
on the budget till next month then.
Yeah.
So that brings number 4, project updates and status reports. Kip.
Yeah, very simply, we're just pushing this thing forward 95% for the Magny construction down at the wastewater treatment plant. That's the only thing major that we have going on right now. We did order fencing. So, and the pumps that I kind of talked about that we were having some issues with, or we were thinking we were having issues with, we did have automatic systems in, and they did some adjustments on controls and things like that, and they do seem to be working the way that they should be now. So I think we're pretty much past the potential of having to have those pumps replaced. That is why I approved ordering the fence and getting that ordered, because it's going to be 6 to 8. I think they're coming sometime in October to start ripping the fence out and put the new fence in, but we will not see gates. We won't see any of the new gates until spring. Those have to be built, and they just won't be done until sometime this spring. So.
But we'll have a nicer looking fence.
You'll have a really nice looking fence down there.
So then the wastewater treatment plant construction summary is next, or did you just cover that too?
No, again, they're doing punch list items down there. They've got about, I want to say it was 15 sheets of paper of punch list items. So they're actually going through that with all of their subs right now. It's paint touch up, some electrical things, some plumbing things. It's just everything just to finalize and make the project complete. So the memorandum from SEH is kind of vague, like I said, there's really just not a whole lot going on down there. Painting the exterior electrical conduit, they painted to match, the fence and gate I talked about. The sign has been ordered. So we're hoping that that's going to be here in the next couple of weeks, so we can get that up. Then they, with the sludge pumps, additional door replacements, and installation of raw water pumps. So I would anticipate next month there probably will be a change order coming through. just to count where we are on the project and get everything approved on that. So that's pretty much, like I said, the construction summary is at this point, it's pretty slow. They're just trying to catch up on everything, punch list item stuff. So that's about it.
So down to number 6, sewer utility and water utility cash reports. Kip.
So you've got those in your packet, just for your, we don't need a vote or anything on that. That's just for your information. So.
No questions? Then we go to number 7, discussion and possible action on claims.
Move to approve.
I'll second.
All in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Is there any opposed? No opposed. Motion carries. Lastly, item 8 is adjournment. If we could, someone want to move to adjourn?
Move to adjourn.
I'll second that.
All in favor, signify by
Aye.
saying aye.
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 Do I hear any opposed? Meeting is adjourned.